Good afternoon, Nikita. Good
Good
afternoon, Nikita.
afternoon,
How are
sir.
you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine.
Okay. So I want to start with a very basic question with respect to your schooling. I read that you have studied from Kendriya Vidyalaya. So can you tell me
Yes.
what impact did Kendriya Vidyalaya played in your life?
So the first and foremost thing which taught the school taught me was secularism. We never had celebrated Ganesh Chaturthi or any specific religious kind of festival in our school. We always had celebrated the national holidays. And second thing is discipline and mm, rules, the regulations to be followed. These are the most important things which I had uh, learned from it.
Okay, fine. Now, can you tell me what is the difference between the Navodaya Vidyalaya and the Kendriya Vidyalaya? Are they the same or they have a different orientation?
I think, sorry, sir, I have no idea, but I would like to take a guess. But I think Navodaya Vidyalaya holds an entrance examination to get admitted, but in Kendra Vidyalaya, it is solely based on admission purpose, based on other criteria like single girl child or a government employee things. I'm not
Fine.
quite sure.
Okay. Can you tell me there are how many paramilitary forces in India?
Um, Sorry, BSF, SSB, Assam Rifles, front sorry, sir, I have.
Uh, I was seeing that you had certain connection with the CRPF uh, in your CIF form. So can you tell me what is the role of the CRPF with respect to its positioning in Odisha, especially?
So they are mostly utilized for border security and left-wing extremism.
Does Odisha have
The
a border security issue?
like recently the Bangladesh illegal immigrants that are coming into our state, they can be there can be an issue like drug smuggling and other criminal activities also,
Fine.
like such. And even the
Give me a
coastal
brief idea
violence.
about the left-wing extremism with respect to your state, Odisha. How many districts are covered and what steps the government has taken to curb left-wing extremism in Odisha?
Um, so the greyhounds implementation and also CRPF, CISF, all these paramilitary forces are employed, and even government is now focusing on changing the uh, people who are involved in Naxalism by improving their lifestyle and getting them uh, like included in the civil society rather than just approaching them by force. So these are. And the areas which are with the districts, they are known as Durga Manchal, like Malkangini, Rayagara, even Balangir, all of these.
Okay, fine. So if I ask you, if I put you in a hypothetical situation that Nikita, you becomes SDM of certain subdivision of Malkangiri, which is like the worst hit by the left-wing extremism, what are the three important steps that you're going to take as an administrator there? Can you enlist them with priority?
The first important thing is creating awareness and improving their life. The most important reason of people getting into this extremism kind of thing is due to unavailability of resources to continue their normal life. So I would rather provide infrastructure and improving their lifestyle, creating employment and education, providing health facilities, and proving them that government are for them and not against them.
How will you mainstream them? Will you coordinate with other departments like forest and police? How will you bring them into the mainstream?
Yes,
Did you
sir. There
coordinate
should
with
be
the?
interdepartmental coordination. Like forest department and even political people, and even the indigenous groups. They play a very major role in inculcating them the inculcating them into the civil society.
Fair enough. Now, moving towards your hobby, you like to play tennis, right? So can you name which are the you like to? You said you like to play tennis.
So the CIF you were seeing, like the previous one, I had given the new one afterwards.
Okay, I got
I
it
had,
that it was something related to tennis. So is it not
yeah,
your
I
hobby
used to
right
play,
now?
but I used to play. But
Yeah.
right now
But-
I was focusing on exam.
Okay, fine. So I just want to
Preparing.
ask, do you know how many Grand Slams are there in the international tennis competitions?
I have idea about Wimbledon, really.
Wimbledon does Wimbledon is played in like clay courts or the grass court?
In grass court. Sorry,
And
clay court.
okay, fine.
But I
Uh,
used to play tennis as a hobby, like for fitness and all.
fine, fine,
So I
fine.
never used to play for tournaments.
It's okay. It's okay. My last question, then I'll give my observation. Uh, when Odissi dance was given the classical status and why?
Uh, Sir, I'm not able to answer the when part, but why was because it is related to the culture of a state, and sorry, sir, I'm not able to answer. Uh,
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll rather move.
Uh, that's all from my side. I just want to give you some quick observations. You see, I'm very glad that you're honest, that in interview it is very difficult to reach out to each and every question. And I'm very happy that you're honest that you do not know it. And just one quick suggestion that if you do not know anything and you're making a rough guess, then try to bring something which is constructive. Constructive in the sense that, or as per some reports, as I read somewhere, try to make that. And I'm very happy with the answer of your Kendriya Vidyalaya that it taught you the lessons of the Constitution of India, which we all abide by, the secularism and other issues. And as far as the questions of paramilitary and those things, I'm also very glad that it is, as an administration, you covered every aspect. But whenever you are not very sure, don't try to make a rough estimate. If you're making, first please ask the interviewer, sir, if you allow me, if you, with my limited knowledge, I can use this and that. This way, it may be a little bit helpful to you. All the best for your interview. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
JD sir, I'll take over.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Very good afternoon, and I hope you are fine.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I think we are having
Sir,
our
I
first
have
interview.
seen your geography lectures on YouTube.
Acha, you have seen it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So I have few questions for you, and I think I am going to check your personality as you have developed and evolved through a schooling that you talked about. You said that you have been taught about secularism. You have been practically doing secularism. What exactly is the secularism that we are having in our country, and how is it different from the Western notion of secularism?
Sir, we have a positive model of secularism. A state is not completely away from religion, but it puts humanity above any religious practice. And the state also interferes in any practice which is critical to any human rights violation. So,
Can you elaborate, please?
sir, for example, the essential practice one, like the Shirur Mat case, and even the ones in Tandava case of in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, was the judiciary declared that this is not essential, and it can hamper the public order or any national security kind of thing. So that is it. And if
Okay,
we look
okay.
into the Western model, there is negative secularism, like the state does not consider or involve themselves in any kind of thing. Like in USA, anyone can practice any religion, but they don't interfere. They don't make the major religion or any kind of religious activity interfere into the politics and other affairs and such affairs.
So if suppose my school has been celebrating all the festivals, not only one, but all the festivals, am I not secular?
Um, No, sir, it can be, yes, obviously you are secular, but school is the primary place where you are taught like to respect all religions and not only focus on some ones. Like we generally don't celebrate Eid. We generally don't celebrate Easter, but we do celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi. We celebrate Raksha Bandhan or Janmashtami in our schools. So it is kind of diverging
I think
towards
it is stuck. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
I think some disconnection happened. Okay, so I think you were fair on that part that we don't celebrate some of the festivals. Now imagine my secularism notion is that I celebrate everything. Like even if there is Eid or Easter or Christmas, anything. So I think today convent schools or any such school is celebrating every such function, every such maybe occasion. So maybe notion of secularism is not only not celebrating anything, it can also be celebrating everything. That is the idea of the East secularism that we follow.
The Indian model
West
of secularism.
is totally different. They would not interfere. They would not even say a thing to religion. That is the idea of secularism. That maybe I think I have made myself clear. Okay, I have second question
Yes.
from you, and that is, uh, can you talk something about fiscal deficit of India and how exactly are we struggling to maintain our fiscal deficit?
So fiscal deficit is the difference between government revenue and government spending. The general idea about this. And we are struggling, we are generally struggling since a lot of time, though fiscal deficit has been reducing gradually. Um, we are generally focusing on much more developmental aspects and social security spending, like uh, providing freebies and free electricity and providing the recent Subhadra Yojana of Odisha that is providing 50,000 rupees to every eligible women. So these are kind of things which are not resulting in any capital growth. So the fiscal deficit is generally dependent on, sorry, sir, I have no idea anymore. I'm unable to say.
Okay, I'll come back to this point also. My third question to you is, okay, since you have a hobby now, I hope this is the latest CIF that I have with me. You have written crime documentaries.
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. That was the previous one. The latest one I had sent the last.
Okay. I
It is.
think
It says dancing, watching traveling vlogs on YouTube, and other one is feeding birds.
feeding birds. Okay,
I have
ठीक है. So
three copies. Yes.
I think I had the previous one, not a problem. So maybe suppose there is something that is troubling today, and New Delhi or any such metropolitan area, they are having less of sparrows today, less of birds that used to make their nests in our homes. Very less of those species now remaining. What exactly is troubling them? What your solution can be to save them from this extinction?
The reasons of declining of such commonly seen birds are encroachment of green areas and the and even the increasing pollution and other things like they are polluting their inhaling and their consumption they're consuming plastic things and other which are affecting their health, and they are not finding any particular space to have a peaceful like their home, so their numbers are declining. And due to pollution and other things, their migration pathways are also getting affected. And that is why the number is decreasing. I think there should be awareness from individual level in our households. We should keep our place of for their safety and for their nesting purpose. I think from that we can start such things like to increase the number of birds population.
Okay. Okay. I hope this question might have come to you previously also. But I'm just interested to know what is this Tribhang position. And I know that you might be knowing this well because you have won certain things into Odissi dance.
Yes, sir. So the whole human body is divided into three parts: head, head, torso, and legs. The Tribhanga position is kind of inclined towards feminine expression of love and devotion. So the three parts of the whole body, they are made in such a way that they are positioned in a triangle. And
Okay.
generally the weight of the body is shifted towards one side of the body part, like left or right, so as to create a very curvy and feminine pose and movement.
Do we have this Tribhang position in any other dance also?
No, sir.
Okay. Can you talk to me about universal coupling? As I see that you are from mechanical engineering, can you give me some idea about universal coupling?
Universal coupling. Sorry, sir, I have no idea.
Okay.
I
Can you
don't
give me
remember.
the difference between what is shear, stress, and tension?
They act upon a area of a body, like a 2D plane.
Sorry.
The force acts upon an area of the body that is parallel to the motion of the plane, the axis of the force.
It is what? Shear.
Yes, sir. Shear.
What is stress?
So that is called stress. The
So
force is
shear
parallel.
and stress.
Okay. So the strain is the difference in the length, the difference in the area that is covered to the previously. The ratio of difference in the area that is changed after applying the force to the previous, to the original area.
And what is tension?
Tension is I'm sorry, sir, I have no idea, but I think the tension elongates the area of the body. It is a force which elongates the area of the body.
Okay. Any idea about what is this K-pop culture that is spreading, I would say, heavily these days, the K-pop culture?
Yes, sir. The catchy music, especially it is much more popular among the teenage girls who are new to internet and having smartphones. The good-looking boys, they generally attract such a crowd. The boys are good looking and even they wear flashy clothes, and the music is very catchy and grooving. So that is why this is increasing a lot among the people, and due to lack of such things in Indian music. Indian music is much more oriented towards romantic and uh, traditional classical songs. So that is why this is increasing. The trend of influence of the K-pop culture is much more increasing in India, especially in the Southeast Asian countries.
Okay. Okay. So my question now is, you are having your optional as geography only. So will it be fine if I ask you certain questions of geography?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer.
Okay. So that's an easy part for you. Let's say if a latitude is passing through Bhubaneswar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Latitude passing through Bhubaneswar, where exactly is it going to land in your Southeast Asia? In your Southeast Asia. Okay, not
I
a
think
city. If you
China.
can,
China.
if you can. If you can give me a country, China, passing through Bhubaneswar,
I think China
you can think.
or Vietnam or even Philippines. I think so.
Okay. So see, I asked you this question because maybe geography is something that you are also having as your studies on a daily basis. So, Tropic of Cancer, imagine Tropic of Cancer. Your Bhubaneswar is south of Tropic of Cancer or is north of it?
Sir, it is in south of tropical cancer.
South. That is totally correct. And if Bhubaneswar is having a latitude passing through it, it can never pass through China. It will have to pass through Myanmar first. Then it might enter your Thailand, Laos, Vietnam. And of course, it will pass through Philippines, Luzon Island.
Philippines.
That was correct. But China will not come. China will not come.
Okay, sir.
Through all these Southeast Asian countries, it will pass through. Now, having said this, can you give me the reasons that why Sumatra, Java, such islands have come up? What are the reasons for them coming up in the shape that they have come?
So due to underwater volcanic activities, the magma they
That's not
pile
the
up
root
and
cause.
come to the
That's
surface.
not the root cause.
Okay. Sorry, sir, I have no idea.
So you have to go into
Okay.
plate tectonics and let me know this. You cannot avoid this
Okay, sir.
question.
Sorry, sir, I was kind of not okay, sir. So due to convergent boundaries and divergent boundaries.
I still give you time.
Data economics. Sir, I'm not able to
You
recall
have
right now.
it as optional. Okay, how did this Aleutian Island come up?
Aleutian Island. I have no idea, sir.
Okay, can you tell me the theory of positivism?
Positivism. Okay. So generally, the any theory which comes up depends upon the empirical observation and based on scientific knowledge about stuff. It is given by August Comte.
And this is about scientific revolution.
Yes.
Okay, so how is it different from the humanistic geography?
The humanistic qualities like preference, emotions, they are disregarded, and the whole theory is based on rational approach and the practical things that is needed for any observation or deducing any theory.
Okay, how is Paradeep very important to you?
It is one of the major ports in the eastern coast, and as we know, it is nearer to the ASEAN countries and Southeast Asian countries, along with East Asia also. Japan, China, the iron ore and the steel are being exported from here, Paradeep, and even the fertilizers, pesticides, and along with the petrochemicals, they are transported. And due to presence of IFCO, the fertilizer company near Paradeep, it is
Okay,
one of
why
the
the
major
beaches of
export destinations.
Odisha? Why the beaches of Odisha are so clean today? And what problem is still there in Mumbai or other areas of Maharashtra? What is the difference like? What could have been done there that Odisha has done?
The I think not a major reason, but the tourist population in Mumbai is much greater than the Puri sea beach or the other sea beaches in Odisha. Second thing is they are focusing on complete environmental and sustainable practices like providing bio toilets and changing rooms, and they have stopped. They have restricted the plastic usage in the beach areas also, and they have also installed other decorative items. So it is kind of absent in Mumbai due to certain. Sorry, I have no.
ठीक है. So that would be all for my part. JD sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Nikita, there are a few questions, although I had prepared few questions, but that have already been asked by our co-panelist anyway. So can you please answer this? Why do this 5th June is important for us?
The World Environment Day.
Any other importance? 5th
Uh,
June.
So right now I can remember World
Okay,
Environment.
fine. Fine. So, these days, I think yesterday also you might have seen in the news that government started this running a Bande Bharat, and from the last few years, government is focusing on the Bande Bharat only, if we say in that way, because other trains we have not seen in the news. The trains or the passenger bogies are not there in the what you call general bogies, that has been reduced. So government is only focusing on this Bande Bharat trains. So why, although there are certain criticisms from across the society or across the country, but still, why government is so much of giving importance to Bande Bharat trains? What are the benefits?
So there is rise in middle class income these days, nowadays. So people are preferring to have a better service, much more cleaner service, like that is prevalent in the Japanese train railway system and even the Russian railway system also. Because they are promoting, they are kind of helping in developing the uh, railway systems in India. So people are wanting better services and they are ready to pay more. So government is focusing on developing infrastructure in such a way along with increasing their revenue. I think this is the reason.
There is also in news that there are many what I call trains, Bande Bharat trains specifically, they run in losses. Uh, Currently, they are running in losses. So it is a demand side factor which insisted or the forced government to introduce such thing, or the supply side aspect, government wants to have a uh, picture kind of which is a kind of a rosy picture, because government is subsiding other things like any other trains. If you see Satabdi, Rajdhani, maybe general trains, government is only highlighting and focusing on this Vande Bharat. So do you think such supply side aspect would be the main reason behind this Vande Bharat rather than the demand side, which you highlighted right now?
I think so. You are right. The supply side aspect plays a major role. Recently, I had traveled from Kolkata to Bhubaneswar in Jan Shatabdi Express. We had booked the general part. The seats were so constricted, and even the bogie was not at all cleaned. It was filthy and it was very smelly. So focusing only on Vande Bharat to increase in the name of increasing infrastructure cannot be a solution in overall infrastructure development. And actually, I think developing uh, the existing train system like Shatabdi, Duronto, Rajdhani is also quite important because we are comparing ourselves because we have taken up the Japanese technology of bullet train into the Vande Bharat Express. So we are trying to match the Japanese bullet train system rather than rather than also focusing on the existing train system we have in our country.
Okay, one more question on this particular topic, since you have mentioned the bullet train. Do you think the kind of socio-economic profile we have and the kind of poverty, unemployment, all those economic problems we have, and the size of budget of our economy, do you think bullet train is feasible, or is it necessary right now uh, as far as our economic point of view?
No, sir. According to my opinion, bullet train is not necessary because we have other modes of transportations like local buses. Metro systems have been coming up in every major cities around India. We have trams, we have trains, and other mode of public transportations also. So bullet train will rather encroach normal green areas in affecting the environment, and also it can be a huge burden over the government. And we do not have preference towards, in my opinion, I will not want to spend a whole lot of money on bullet train rather than, like, I would prefer to go in a normal train rather than spending a huge amount in bullet train to reach a certain place. Because our country, our cities and other places are well connected mostly. The major cities are already well connected. And there are airports, there are cheap airports also, airways also. Sorry.
Okay, okay. So, don't you think the kind of argument you are giving, the similar kind of arguments rather, were there in 1950s when Nehru started such kind of space development or space technology, the satellite things. And there also people were criticizing this is not required for us. But right now, when we see the 50 years back or 60 years back, I think, or many such people, they say Nehru did the right thing, even if 80% people were in poverty line, but he saw the vision, he was futuristic. So he went for that kind of spending on the technology rather, uh, uh, I mean, ignoring other things. So do you support that argument, or still you are okay with your argument? This is not the right time to introduce bullet train in our country.
Sir, I am in support of my opinion only, because during 1950s, India was rather uh, in a problem of of dealing with poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, as just the country have been independent from the British rule. So it was a time where the technology was kind of introduced, totally, completely newly introduced to the country. But right now we have much more development in our country, and we do have a lot of varieties and options in public transportations. So having a bullet train just to show that we are much more developed, and we are equivalent with the Western countries or the developed countries is not a feasible option for the time period, for the
Okay,
time period right now.
okay, fine, fine. So, although you have changed this playing tennis from your CF, that's fine. But recently we had this two Olympics, right? One is the general one, which is the Paris Olympic. The other one is the Paralympic, which we have seen. So, do you know how many medals that India has won in the normal Olympic and in the Paralympics? Do you have this?
India has won 6 medals in the normal Olympics and 29 medals in the Paralympics.
Okay, fine. So, uh, if we see the sports as an infrastructure, and if you see the Odisha with respect to that, we have seen a much better position for Odisha as far as hockey and other sports infrastructure point of view, because recently Odisha has organized the national level and international level events, few events, let's say. Uh, with respect to India, also, we have a decent amount of budget with respect to sports, as well as the awareness that we have created at the ground level, so that parents should think of that sports as a career for their children. But still, the kind of performance we have in this year Olympic, which is very regressive, which is very disappointing in nature. But what you would suggest, uh, although we have such development, or we have such amount of budget, we have created much of awareness. Now, sports person is they are having rewarded at every stages, but still we have this kind of performance in Olympic. What would you suggest to improve such scenario?
Sir, as we have seen in the normal Olympics, I'm talking about, because India have performed exceptionally well in the Paralympics. If we talk about the normal Olympics, we have mostly got away from the tournament, from the event, being placed on in the fourth position, and losing the bronze medal match, losing the gold medal match, and as we have known, the Vinesh Phogat disqualification thing. I think the most important thing is creating mental strength, mental awareness to have a winning mentality, because other physical infrastructure and other supports are being provided. They are extremely well, and we need to separate politics from sports, which is the most important thing right now, from every sport activity, be it in Olympics, be it in cricket, tennis, anything. And I think that is the important thing, because the players, the athletes, they have been performing very good, but they are losing from the final stage. I think that is important.
How do you define this, that we have to keep politics separate from the sports? Like, have you have any instance where you think that politics is there in the sports?
I think recently, it's not recently, like 2, 3 years since it is going on, the wrestlers protest uh, about a certain political figure who is the chairman, who is the head of the organization, about some sexually abuse and things. I think government should take measures so that the athletes, along with their coaches and other staffs, can be freely expressing their emotions and freely playing without any burden of any pressure, or without any burden from such political people. So I think there should be complete separation from them.
Okay. My next question would be, while you were answering about to Chandramouli sir's question, you highlighted the Subhadra Yojana, but you said uh, there is no scope of capital generation with respect to Subhadra Yojana. But what government is claiming, in fact, today Narendra Modi is about to inaugurate this thing or launch this Subhadra Yojana in Bhubaneswar. Anyway, so the point is, what government is saying, Subhadra Yojana is all about women empowerment, financial inclusion, as well as those women who are in that wanted or want to start any kind of entrepreneur or kind of a small venture. They can start with that, because the amount which are given to these women, they are fair enough, and they can start such venture or the startup kind of thing. So do you support this, or still you say the Subhadra Yojana is only for this kind of freebie which do not generate any kind of capital?
I think I will go with both of these opinions, because there would be a certain percentage of women, they would be wanting to start any entrepreneurship or any business, any small business like SHG and all, which is very good. But there would be a large population of women, they would use those money for any other purpose as a freebie. And as we know, we do have a patriarchal society. The money would, even if the money is going to the account of the women, the especially the wife or the mother, the money would be taken by the husband or the father, like the male head of the family, and used in other purposes in any disregarding my manner. So the most important thing is not only providing them money, but also seeing that the money is being utilized properly in the goals, in the things which government has been focusing, especially for the capital generation and entrepreneurship purpose.
Okay, fine. So my last question, obviously, I think you must have heard or must have visited Rajarani temple, right? Why this Rajarani temple is named so? Why this is known as Rajarani?
Um, Sorry, sir, I have no idea. I have only seen that, but I have
Okay.
not read about it.
This Rajarani temple is dedicated to which deity?
I think Shiva. I'm taking a guess. I have no particular idea about this.
Okay, fine. It's Shiva only. Okay, so that's it from my side. Chandramouli sir, please, your observation.
Yes, sir. So I think you had already given this mock interview before also. I have this feeling.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think I was not in that panel. I have few things very positive for you. Number one, you're calm, like you are totally like everything is on fire. I'll be calm, I'll be cool. So that is a great aspect of yours. You are always calm. Number two, you have that smile on your face when you speak. So that is a great positivity that I find. Third, you try to approach the question. Whatever we say, you try to take a guess in this. That shows that you have that zeal of accepting the challenge. Now, having said this, the fourth part that I would say is not to, please don't take it otherwise. It is only for your improvement if you take it.
Yes, sir.
This is like awareness generation is not the only solution. Okay, so 99% of your solution was awareness generation. So that maybe if I have noticed it, the board there will have to see this. They will see this very soon, and you have to bring out solutions very different from only awareness generation. That is my call. And see,
Yes.
you have already qualified for your interview now, and mains was already the check of your knowledge. So I don't question your knowledge, but what I do is you have to think of something which is out of the box, which others are not thinking. If you have to be your name have to be there on the list, you have to think somewhat differently. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
like when you say awareness only, it looks like that, okay, chalega, he will take it or he will not take it. That should not be your attitude. Okay, and the next is you cannot avoid the easiest questions. Like if you are from geography optional, you cannot avoid easiest questions that I said don't know. If you do this,
I
that
understand,
means you
sir.
have demeaned geography. You have demeaned geography now. And
Yes, sir.
if you are there, if suppose like I asked you Tribhang position and you said it is only ODC, it is not only ODC. Even Bharatnatyam has Tribhang position. So you have to be like with facts. Yeah, I have cross-checked it. Bharatnatyam has Tribhang position. I have cross-checked it. So maybe what my suggestion
Sir,
is that let's yeah.
sir, the Trivanga position in Bharatanatyam and Odissi both are quite different. It has a feminine approach and
Maybe
the one is
I'm
masculine.
not aware of that. I'm not aware. I just
Okay,
had
sir.
this question written that Tribhang position, is it in other dance also? So the answer was
Yes, sir.
Bharatnatyam also has Tribhang. Maybe the postures are different. That may be a different story, but we have some Tribhang position in Bharatnatyam.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Sorry.
maybe you can check it, whatever may be your answer, or you can say it otherwise also in the interview that it has, but it has different meanings. And maybe I would say that when we put you some questions that are from your background, like mechanical or geography, it is expected that you are going to speak on it. Imagine if you're not able to speak on mechanical because that could be something of the past. That could be somewhat said that, okay, we can try to understand that, but we cannot understand that if something is happening today as you have been studying it, that cannot be ignored. So you have to give those answers. And while answer, I just want to ask you one more question. Do you have this a sort of mental divergence while you answer the things? Do you feel this, that you have some mental divergence, or you are focused on whatever you are saying?
So sometimes I get diverted when I don't know the question, the answer.
See,
I don't know. I
I
tend to
found it,
answer some.
I found it because I found it because while you answer no, so your mind or brain gives you a lot of pointers, and you want to touch every aspect. So you speak the one, but you forget the second line. Then you go to the third, and then you come back to the second. I was having this notion that you are digressing or somewhat diversion is happening. Maybe I would say you, since you're a calm person, you can only think of maybe the ideas that come to your mind and you can just reflect upon those ideas. It is not necessary that I have to give all the pointers. Okay. And please let's not be concise in your answers to the extent that you wrap up your answer in 30 seconds. Like that is not what interview is for. Interview is to you for you to speak, for you to divert your interview, for you to guide your interview. So if you speak less, like if I say ODC dance, yes, sir, Odisha. Now, if that full stop is coming in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, examiner is not interested now. Like the interviewer may not be maybe having that happiness. Okay, if she is not answering, why should I ask the questions? So you must try to indulge, try to take up the conversation with the interviewer so that they also get involved in it. That is my idea. So it is only this way that you guide your interview. Otherwise, you will be guided by the
Yes,
interviewers.
sir.
If you want to guide your interview, you try to go into the conversation they want to, and you have a balanced conversation. Like if I
Yes, sir.
ask you ODC dance, so you must exclaim, "Oh wow, ODC dancer! I got this prize, and this is what is ODC." So you have to give in, like the examiner must understand that you have respected his question or her question. It is not about me. It is not about me. It is about the persons who are sitting there. They are, at least they will have 60 years of their maybe age, at least, or 50, 55 can also be there. They need only one thing there, and that is a genuine face, which you have, and second, respect for every question they ask. If they ask you, like, suppose, sir, what is the problem today in India? And like yesterday, Iran has given the content, has given a comment for India's minority. So if they ask you any such question, no, you must be trying to involve the interviewer. That, sir, this is something that has not happened for the first time. They have always been giving this. This is my idea. And like you can just follow up with the discussion, not elongated one,
Yes, sir.
but 1 or 2 minutes is what you can take for a question. Like if the question is big, like JD sir has been asking you a question of analysis, you can go for around 1.5 minutes of your answer. Try to involve every of the examiner, and then put a full stop that looks like a full stop. Like if you stop in between and I start, your content is lost, my zeal is lost. If you end something with a full
Okay,
stop,
sir.
with a sort of concluding remarks that this was my answer, it looks good then. So that would be my observation. Otherwise, I find somewhat information is to be brushed up. When is your interview?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When is your interview?
Very. So 21 September,
ठीक है.
this Saturday.
So all the best. I must not say much. All the best. And just be
Thank you, sir.
happy, just be positive, and try to conclude every comment that you speak.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, I was told not to take much time, like speak in longer sentences. So just they
Exactly.
do ask
So
something and you need to complete that in a certain time so that the time is saved
no,
of the
exactly. See,
interview. That is why.
that is exactly correct. You don't have to speak longer, but that does not mean that you complete your answer in 10 seconds or 15 seconds. That also does not mean that. So they are
Yes,
waiting for your voice, your words. They're not waiting for their voices and words. So that is my call.
okay.
I am not saying to elongate to the extent that they get bored, but try to be as much optimum in which they also are satisfied. Okay, she knows the answer well. She can try to be maybe giving me the opinions. That can be your call. If you speak only 3, 4 words, 5 words, 10 words, that will be like they would be just putting you through lot of rapid fire questions. So that also should not
Okay, sir.
happen. This is my call. Of course, you have to speak, you have to complete your sentences fast. But that fast does not mean 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That means you should speak.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
That would be all. JD sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Nikita, see, there are few things. The first one is I'm totally agree with Chandramouli sir. Actually, what you do, you try to answer one question, you start one question. Suppose you are not recalling the points, or you miss that. Oh, okay, sir, that's it, or something. This thing is happening. Okay, so although you try to answer question, but in between that you lost the points, then you stop there, or your facial expression say, "Oh, that much I know." So I think that is the point would be taken care of. There you have to either complete with that few knowledge, few points, or if you find I am not comfortable with the answer, I think no need to take that risk where you will answer one line and then you will stop. Okay. But what I have heard from other in like candidates, those who have already completed the interview, generally they are asking fact-based questions. I think one board is there. The chairperson of that board, particularly, he has this background of history, so he's asking history-based question, specifically Odisha history. So that is fine, but we have to like prepare for everything. You don't know which board will you will have, and what kind of question you can expect from them. Anyway, so few things I would say, it's going good. From last time also, it's much of improvement. And second thing is, I will comment on the question specific thing. So when we were discussing mostly the bullet train kind of thing, so You said, in my opinion, I would not go for this bulletin or something. See, we can't say that something is not ready to like introduce or something. That means you are not that much visionary, or you are not futuristic in thing. So you can
Okay.
answer that question with respect to this short term and long term approach, right? So what in short term we need much of better infrastructure with respect to other viability or feasibility kind of thing. Bullet train, which is something very long term project, because they can counter on that thing, because bullet train is having this very high amount of investment in the infrastructure, and it will have this multiplier effect in the economy. Because if you have seen recently the Raghuram Rajan statement that investment in infrastructure is the main driving force behind the India's economic growth. If you see the last year budget, capex has increased significantly. That is the reason the government is highlighting this expressway and highways. So we can't say that we should not introduce bullet train. Rather, you can answer it in a with all kind of thing. The short run, we have this private priority, and then the long run, obviously, we have this much of priority. Second thing, I would say in that particular question, let's say the sports wala, I think if we uh, keep ourselves away from this politics kind of thing, I think it would be better, because this something can bring other questions as well. So the interviewer will start questioning on other aspects, other dimensions. That could be a possibility. So better to avoid that. But you can focus on the other things, why this sports is still is not that much matured. Even if we have this, we have given the status of sports as an infrastructure. We require much more investment in that. Uh, so politics thing you can avoid, although it's in common domain or in the public forum that politics is ruining our
Yes.
sports system, right? I think that's enough. I would say before 21st, if possible, you have a decent amount of opinion with respect to analytical question, but generally I prefer to ask analytical, so that you'll be judged as per your opinion and all. What I would suggest for 21st, we need to focus on facts with respect to Odisha. Geographical,
Yes, sir.
since you have optional, suppose mining, minerals, those facts. Tourism
Yes,
also,
sir.
because blogging, travel blogging as your hobby, so tourism aspect
Yes,
also.
sir.
So these facts you should focus upon, and I'm in fact all our Anveshan IAS team is very much positive that you will be in that final list. So we are expecting that, and we also from our whole team all the best. And this interview has already been recorded, so you'll be given this, and you can see your things, whatever you want to like uh, upgrade or something, change this thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will mail it this recorded video. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we can leave.
So whether, as I have said, my opinion in Subhadra Yojana, I'm kind of like contradicting the present government's focus and the goals they are, which are looking for. So is it right to say like that?
See, the
Like
actually
women will, yes, sir,
opposition
yes.
started this thing like this money is not enough to start a business or start a venture. So they started criticizing
Yes,
the government, but government, the deputy CM, C, like highlighted this thing. No, no, this much amount of money is required, and easily one women can start such business. So if you'll be asked this question, what are the main priority or focus areas of Subhadra Yojana since this has been launched? So they will ask you, then you can highlight this thing, women empowerment, the first thing. Second is like this thing, financial inclusion. Obviously, this would have a bank account. And the third thing, obviously, the startup or the government is insisting that women should start a venture on their own, like self-help groups or something. Because self-help groups, uh, I interviewed one candidate. He was working as the field investigator, something for this self-help group or livelihood, some kind of post was there, but his job was basically with respect to the empowering self-help group and all. And what he told that generally the women generally they save only 1,000 rupees, 5 to 6 women, 1,000 rupees in the bank account. From that 5 to 6,000, they start a venture, and then government has this plan of giving them financial help through the bank, and then they like escalate their business in a different level. So this the criticism which is government is having that this 10,000 is not enough. Well, that is not the thing. With that help, easily one can start a business.
Um, Sir, actually, what about the thing like the money can be spent in other purposes
That's
which
true.
are not.
That you can highlight. That you can highlight. That is the reason government is a
So generally, like the sarpanch pati, even though the women is the sarpanch, but the whole administration and whole the authority is being run by her husband. So it is kind of, even if we are trying to empower women, the money can be used by the husband, can be taken by the husband.
That's true. That could be a possibility, but that is something very exceptional. And in this case, we are simply transferring money to the women account. So we are ensuring that much of thing. If we transfer the money to the male members account, so that risk would be much higher than this present scenario. So you can highlight that that is a possibility of this, but obviously you have to give the priority to the government's objective, what government is thinking behind this Subhadra Yojana.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other thing, Tanuvali sir, or shall we leave?
So all the best.
All the best. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.